Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Rajah Caruth, the driver of the number 24 Chevrolet for GMS Racing. Excuse me. How's it going?
I'm great, Casey. It's been a while. I hope you're doing great.
Yeah, good to always talk to you.
Sure.
So kind of explain, how did this kind of get put together?
It's honestly been in development for almost a whole year. Well, by the time we signed it, it hadn't been a year, but I guess from now it's been almost a year. Talks really started a while ago, and once the seasons kind of started getting going and I started building my resume some more, it really just made the whole process a lot easier. But the thing is that the interest was always there from the side of these guys, and it just really made it awesome. And it honestly felt good to be it feels great to be in a situation with such a professional race team, but also understanding that they wanted me for my ability and who I am as a person, and not from what I could bring to the team from a monetary standpoint. So it's awesome to be here.
Yeah, and of course you get to you get all the resources. You have your two teammates, and plus you have all your Cup teammates and Jimmy Johnson too. Well, yeah, he you have him as well. What was it like meeting him? And obviously, it's like I've met Jimmy several times throughout my career. What was it like? Was that the first time that you've met him?
First time I met him, first time I've seen him in real life. I'm not a I'm not as you know, I'm not really an emotional person, or I don't really show my emotions that well, which is something I need to work on. But so obviously Jimmy's my favorite driver growing up, and I got told that morning by Dana that he was there, and I was like, what? Like, I was not prepared at all, but that was probably one of the greatest days ever. Very stressful, but it was amazing to meet one of my heroes and have him be there for my announcement, and now I can represent him on the racetrack. Can't ask for anything more.
Absolutely. I know that you also come into this season. I know it's of course you're gonna have some off time, but right when 2023 begins, it's back to work for you guys. I know a lot of things are set into place and all that. What's it been like working with the 24 team and your new crew chief?
Man, it's been great. Chaz is awesome. My team is full of badasses, and we're gonna turn some heads next year for sure. I mean, from the month and some change of being here and present at the race shop and seeing the things we got going, I am really, really pumped for next year. And the way I see it, man, it's no pressure for me, but there's no excuses. So that means I have to just make sure I'm doing my part, behind the cameras and when nobody's looking, from the smallest things, from going to bed on time and eating right and showing up punctually to workouts, to watching my footage and reviewing and doing my notes and making sure I'm in 100% capacity for the DIL sessions, for pre and post race meetings, and for when we're at the racetrack. So I'm just ready to go, man.
So you're going to be at a lot of tracks that you are familiar with, that you've raced on last year when you were in ARCA, but there's obviously a lot more tracks that you haven't had a chance to go to. But most of the tracks that the trucks run on are going to be places that you were at last year in ARCA. That familiarity obviously has to help.
Yeah, I think it will. But honestly, man, I'm prepared just as much for a racetrack like Kansas that I've been to 4 times, like I'll do for Circuit of Americas that I've never seen before.
Not to say.
So it's going to be very useful to go to racetracks that I've been to before and have some familiarity and a good baseline. But at the same time, I mean, I'm gonna work just as hard in preparation for each race, for all 23 venues or 22 venues that we go to, and make sure that when we get there, I'm up to speed and ready to go.
Is there a track you have circled on your calendar?
All of them.
Well, yeah, but
Every single one.
I know it's like, is there just one that stands? I mean, there has to be one that stands out, right?
Maybe. I mean, I'm really excited. So I guess each track's got their own little niche or little thing that I think about going for them. Like I'm really excited to go to like Homestead and really run the wall. And nobody really did it in the truck race this year and was fast doing so, like right on the fence. And that's something I want to save in my back pocket to, if I actually absolutely need to do it, then I can do so. But for places like Charlotte and Kansas and Bristol, like I got some baggage from the ARCA stuff, like kind of ones that got away, and have those kind of circled for that reason in terms of just wanting to have some closure, or not closure, but get one back, I guess. Although you're never really owed anything, but you can feel like that. And at the same time, like Atlanta, like I've never raced there before, but I was born in that state, and I have family down there, so that will be fun. And going to like Nashville and Milwaukee and uh, Darlington and Wilkesboro, like every racetrack is going to be fun for its own reason.
Yeah.
So I can't pick just one, to be honest.
Um, I'll point a few out. How about North Wilkesboro going there? How have you ever ran that track?
No, I tried to get an entry for the car store race, but the I was gonna run Hickory and then it rained out, so I couldn't do it. And then that would have been how I got entry into the Wilkesboro race last August. So I'm gonna try to run the late model race again. That's on the Thursday or Wednesday before, but you know how that goes sometimes. But I'm excited for Wilkesboro just because that racetrack is similar to a lot of good racetracks in the Carolinas that I grew up racing at and learning kind of the basics of stock car racing, like Hickory, Myrtle Beach, Florence, Greenville, Pickens. I don't think there's any more that I raced at, but those are the ones that I really come to mind, and Tri County. So just to go to that place is really a treasure, and that one I've got circled for that reason, because I mean that's a late model track. Well, actually, I don't think so, but it's whatever. I'm excited for that place for those reasons, just because I get those vibes from it.
Yeah. Let me also ask you about the. Let me ask you about Mid Ohio. Excited to go back there again?
Yeah, I'm really excited to go there because, man, like that race, I went to second and then I killed my rain tires, and then got back to fifth, I think, after going off the racetrack like 4 different times. And then my teammate ran me off the racetrack, and then uh we got put we our team put on slicks when we weren't supposed to. Just yeah, so I got that one circled just because I had a very fun time racing at that road course. I felt like there was a lot of short track tendencies there, and some really good techniques that can really apply to a lot of different racetracks. And if I can get closer to perfecting it, I think I'll be really good come July there.
Yeah, Mid Ohio race is like a short track. When I had to literally call one of my road course friends, Jay Buford. So he was kind of explaining it to me when before I went down to Mid Ohio, and he did mention to me it does kind of race like a short track there, and it's just fun, and just had a fun time, covering. That was actually my first time to Mid Ohio, so I would be excited to go back there. But to get this opportunity, obviously everybody knows the story that you have racing a couple years ago, and now you're racing full time trucks for GMS. I'm pretty sure you've been asked this question hundreds and hundreds of times, but can you believe that you are at where you are now?
I mean, to be honest, Casey, like every single step of my career so far, it's always felt surreal. And it's never really like sunk in, to be honest with you. From my first legend car start at Charlotte Motor Speedway to my first wins at Greenville, Pickens, and Hickory, to making my Xfinity debut at Richmond, and running in the top 5 and top 10 in the truck races. Like it, none of it's felt real, to be completely honest with you. Um, so I don't know. I mean, I feel extreme gratitude to my family for everything that they've sacrificed to put me in positions to take advantage of these opportunities. Like I've lived in North Carolina by myself for the last 2.5 years, straight out of high school. And I also am going to college as well. And, my parents are the sole reason why that's the case. And now to race and be a race car driver is really because of them. And besides that, there's been so many people that have helped push me along and aid me in um, every form, every understanding of that word. And so I'm eternally grateful to all of them.
Absolutely. And then just well, I might as well ask you this too. Do you have any additional plans for the year? Could we see you in Xfinity? Could we see you maybe in ARCA? I don't know.
I hope to run some Xfinity races again. been kind of in talks about that. My main priority has been just getting the truck stuff done, and now that's out of the way. It's kind of weird because some people are like kind of in the relaxed mode for the holidays or going out of town, and I personally, I don't know how to slow down, so I'm always just going, as I'm sure you know. So to answer your question, I have interest in running Xfinity races. ARCA races, I mean, maybe. But I do have a very high interest in running Xfinity races on a part-time schedule. Just like no off week or no double duty weekends, just to remain focused on the main goal, which is chasing a championship here. And besides that, I mean, I'm wanting to run dirt some more. I'm running to run some late model races. I want to try Pensacola again, or try Pensacola next December. Trying to think if there's anything else. I made like a wish list of races I wanted to do. I don't have it right now, but to answer your question, my main focus is chasing a championship with GMS Racing and the Wendell Scott Foundation and Chevy. But when we got some off time, I'm gonna try to get in the race car anytime I can.
All right. Well, Rajah Caruth, congratulations on the ride and the full season in trucks, and best of luck in the 2023 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Craftsman, man, I'm gonna make you feel old. My only concept of truck series from growing up is watching the Camping World Truck Series, not Craftsman. Craftsman seems like ancient to me.
Wow.
So